Sha'Carri Richardson ruled the track world with an iron fist and acrylic nails. She owned the culture. She owned the social media algorithms. You probably thought her biggest threat was a Jamaican legend or a St. Lucian phenom. But the woman who stole her crown did not cross an ocean to do it. She simply walked across the training track in Florida. Melissa Jefferson was the quiet teammate, the undisputed underdog, the backup dancer. Then she orchestrated the most ruthless athletic coup of the modern era. This is the story of how a small-town girl systematically dismantled the biggest name in sports. Before we uncover exactly how Melissa ripped the throne away from Sha'Carri, do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button and like this video. To understand this massive betrayal, you need to look at the battleground. Star Athletics sits in Lake County, Florida. Dennis Mitchell runs this camp. He is a strict coach who demands absolute perfection. He famously calls Sha'Carri Little Bit. Sha'Carri openly loves his intense style. She claims she hates baby talk. Mitchell packs his camp with the fastest women on earth to force them to fight for survival. He calls it iron sharpens iron. He actually created a psychological pressure cooker. The group is publicly known as the Sisterhood. Twanisha Terry acts as the emotional glue. She keeps the peace. For years, the hierarchy was set in stone. Sha'Carri was the undisputed queen. Twanisha was the loyal lieutenant. Melissa Jefferson was just the quiet recruit. Sha'Carri thrives as the ultimate anti-hero. She went through a brutal Olympic suspension in 2021. She fought the media and her critics constantly. She returned in 2023 to win gold in Budapest with a massive 10.65 seconds. She broke the championship record from lane 9. Her brand was built entirely on defiance and raw power. Melissa was completely different. She grew up in Georgetown, South Carolina, a tiny seaport town with fewer than 10,000 people. She went to Coastal Carolina University. She only got 2 partial scholarship offers out of high school. She was the ultimate blue-collar worker. Her origin story involves incredible emotional pain. In 2018, her father Melvin developed a terrifying bone marrow disorder called myelodysplastic syndrome. Doctors said he needed a stem cell transplant to live. At just 17 years old, Melissa became his donor. She sat in a hospital bed crying at 11 at night. She did not cry from the physical pain. She cried because she was terrified the transplant would fail. This single event changed her entire mindset. She faced the absolute terror of losing her dad. Losing a sprint suddenly meant absolutely nothing. She built a mental armor that Sha'Carri never possessed. The media labeled Melissa the virtuous warrior. Fans saw her success as karmic justice. Their running styles clash just as hard as their personalities. Sha'Carri struggles out of the blocks. Her reaction times are completely average. She wins races by hunting girls down in the final 40 meters. Melissa is a human bullet. She explodes from the start line. She clocks elite reaction times near 0.140 seconds. Dennis Mitchell forced Melissa to fix her late race fading. Once she learned to hold her top speed, she became an unstoppable weapon. We all ignored the early warning signs. Go back to the 2022 U.S. Championships in Eugene. Sha'Carri completely choked in the very first round. She hesitated at the gun in Heat 3. She panicked and stood up too fast. She crossed the line in 11.31 seconds. She was eliminated instantly, finishing 23rd overall. While the media obsessed over Sha'Carri bombing out, Melissa quietly won the entire event. She ran a windy 10.69 seconds and took the national title. Everyone called it a fluke. It was absolutely not a fluke. Tensions in the camp started bubbling. In October 2023, an 18-year-old Jamaican prodigy named Elena Reed joined Star Athletics. Elena boasted a 10.92 personal best. Sha'Carri hated this arrival. Reports leaked about toxic behavior and awful vibes. Sha'Carri saw the teenager as a direct threat and bullied her out. Elena quit the camp after just 1 season. She moved to hurdle mechanics in Arkansas. Sha'Carri was fighting the wrong ghost. Sha'Carri took silver in 10.87 seconds. Melissa took bronze in 10.92. The gap between them shrank to just 0.05 seconds. They were no longer master and apprentice. They were equals. Then came 2025, the year Sha'Carri destroyed her own empire. On July 27, everything fell apart at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Police arrested Sha'Carri for an off-track incident. She got into a physical fight with her boyfriend, Christian Coleman, near a TSA checkpoint. Police reports show she grabbed his backpack, she shoved him into a wall, she even threw a pair of headphones at him. Body cam footage caught her screaming at him and calling him a coward. Christian refused to press charges and told cops he declined to be a victim. She spent a night in the SCORE jail. The public reaction was brutal. Fans love an underdog fighting the system. Fans despise an athlete attacking their partner. The internet turned against her instantly. Search queries shifted violently from gold medals to mugshots and domestic violence. This toxic virality terrified major advertisers. Her mental breakdown completely poisoned her physical speed. A few days after leaving jail, she ran at the U.S. Championships in Eugene. She completely choked. She failed to even qualify for the 200-meter final. She finished fourth in her heat with a sad 22.56 seconds. Melissa clocked 22.06 in that exact same round. Sha'Carri looked entirely broken. She stumbled out of the blocks repeatedly. The sports business needed a new hero fast. Michael Johnson had launched the Grand Slam Track League to pay athletes massive prize money. Then the league completely imploded. Grand Slam Track filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and owed creditors $40 million. Melissa was owed roughly $174,000 in unpaid fees. Gabby Thomas was owed over $185,000. Sha'Carri relied entirely on her legacy Nike deal. With a fresh arrest record and failing race times, her corporate value tanked. Melissa saw this opening and struck a genius media deal. She partnered with NBC Sports for the On Her Turf campaign. NBC launched the Athlete Collective with Melissa as the debut headline star. She became the ultimate face of wholesome female empowerment. While Sha'Carri fought tabloid rumors, Melissa filmed high-gloss documentaries about youth clinics in Myrtle Beach. Melissa became the safe, high-value commodity. Then she finally went on the aggressive attack. At the Miami Slam event, she beat Olympic champion Gabby Thomas. She grabbed the microphone and fired a direct shot on camera. She told the crowd she knew some girls would be mad that she won. Everyone in the track community knew she was talking about Gabby and Sha'Carri. The nice girl was totally gone. An alpha competitor had arrived to take over. She backed it up at the Philadelphia Slam. She beat Gabby again in the 200 meters with a 21.99. She won the 100 meters in 10.73. The warning sirens were blaring across the globe. The final execution took place at the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo. The signs were obvious during the Diamond League season. Melissa won the Prefontaine Classic in 10.75, while Sha'Carri finished a humiliating 9th. Melissa won Brussels in 10.76. The 100-meter final in Tokyo was a dominant win. The gun fired and Melissa exploded with perfect form. She clocked a reaction time of 0.173. Sha'Carri hesitated. Sha'Carri stumbled right at the start. By 40 meters, the race was effectively over. Melissa destroyed the field and finished in 10.61 seconds. She shattered the championship record. She tied the Olympic record held by Elaine Thompson-Herah. She became the 4th fastest woman in human history. Sha'Carri crossed the line in 5th place. She ran at 10.94. Melissa beat her by 0.15 seconds. Melissa completely embarrassed her on the biggest global stage. Melissa then won the 200-meter gold in 21.68. She secured the legendary sprint double and joined the absolute elite. Then they lined up for the relay final. Melissa ran the crucial leadoff leg. She set the pace and did all the heavy lifting for the squad. Sha'Carri ran the anchor leg despite her terrible individual form. They won gold, and the cameras captured them hugging. The media pushed a fake sisterhood narrative to protect the brand. The truth was entirely different. Melissa carried the team while Sha'Carri was allowed to share the final glory. Melissa successfully absorbed Sha'Carri's massive fan base without taking a single ounce of her toxic baggage. This entire saga proves one terrifying reality about professional sports. Raw talent means absolutely nothing if your mind falls apart. Sha'Carri built an empire on chaos and drama. Chaos eventually burns the whole house down. Melissa Jefferson saw the smoke and took the throne in broad daylight. She did not cheat the system, she did not complain about the rules, she ran 10.61 seconds and forced the entire world to respect her. As we march toward the 2027 Beijing Games, the dynamic is permanently flipped. Sha'Carri is no longer the hunted queen. She is just a desperate challenger trying to survive in her own camp. The crown belongs to the girl who saved her father. The crown belongs to the virtuous warrior. The crown firmly belongs to Melissa Jefferson. Did Sha'Carri ruin her own legacy? Or was Melissa always destined to take the top spot? Drop your honest opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this detailed investigation, please hit that subscribe button and leave a like. Your support keeps these stories coming. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next breakdown.